Gen Z shake, where it's like you're kind of pretending to put your phone down as you're talking.
Currency is likes and views, and that's also like what I didn't like about kind of like being in social media.
White creators can do whatever they want because there's always going to be a shade for them, pretty much. But and they will not be held accountable if they work with a brand that doesn't have a good shade range. But if I work with a brand that doesn't have a good shade range, people are going to be really mad at me. I really do feel a level of responsibility because once I did start my channel and got into this industry, I realized, or when I started watching YouTube, I realized, oh my God, nobody has oily skin. Nobody's mixed race. I can't find a shade for me. I'm buying these things that these girls are recommending and I don't feel represented. So I was like, I'll do it myself.
Canada really prides itself to be the most diverse place here in North America, but it's not. I'm so sorry. It's not.
So hard to be beautiful, and you see it like they only particular angles. Like the amount of times I go to take a picture with a girl
it needs to
at an event, and they're like, "What's your side?" And I'm like, "I don't have one." And they're
I'm Shani, and this episode is all about social media, the good, the bad, and the totally overrated.
Okay, so I'm actually really excited for our guest today. It's a really good friend of mine, Samantha Jane, and she's a beauty and lifestyle content creator with over 13 years online experience. So, what's the tea?
hello, I'm ready to spill it.
Ooh, we can't contain it anymore. Okay.
I mean, I first met her. Her energy is like, wow.
Yes.
You've been friends for the longest time, right?
Yeah. When did we actually meet?
Oh my God, it's 2018?
Yeah, it's been a while.
We met in like one PR, like a PR office. Yeah. Like they were doing like, outreach and stuff.
So what was social media like before?
Before, it was, in my opinion, so much more simple and so much more pure. Mm-hmm. It was really almost like an answer to or a solution to like the place we were in the world where everything started to feel a little inauthentic. You know, it was like a mascara ad, but then you look down in the corner, it's like, she's actually wearing false lashes. So then it was like, for me and my perspective of like the beauty community was like just a girl in her bedroom showing you why she did or didn't like this mascara. I'm just like you. I'm showing you what's in my bag. I'm, relatable. I have oily skin. I have acne, like whatever it may be. And there wasn't this like search for perfection or curation. It was just like, now, if you were to get started now on the internet, you need to have a good camera, good lighting, something to say, an idea. Back then, it was like a fuzzy webcam and you're umming and awing through it and nobody cared, right? So it was very different. And I guess like also when I started on YouTube, I don't even think you could make money through YouTube. Like I just started for the love of the game. Just wanted to talk, to be honest, talk and connect. So it's different now, I think.
Yeah, I feel like before too, when you were starting, it's very like people are very more honest and really like they tell just exactly what they think about the product. Like you're just talking to a friend. Yeah. But it's just like you guys are long distance friends. Yeah. So that's like that before. So it's very like authentic and stuff. But now I feel like people saying they're authentic, but
authentic
it's not really.
Now is a currency. Like people know that authenticity. Why can't I say it? Authenticity. Yeah. I speak for a living, believe it or not.
It happens to all of us.
I'm like, I can't even think how to say this word. But people know that that's what people want and they can fake it now. And the biggest example that I see of this, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong for this.
This might be
is this, I think it's called the Gen Z shake, where it's like you're kind of pretending to put your phone down as you're talking.
Oh, wow.
Right? And I've started doing that in videos because it's like, hey guys, I'm getting ready and I'm heading out the door. And that's the vibe now versus the millennial in us. It's like, hello, welcome to my video. Yeah. But now it's like, it's on the go. I'm running out. Oh my God, I'm late. And it's like, you have 10 minutes to go.
Oh, so there's
and this is what
always
you're doing?
Rushing
like there's
things.
always the
exactly.
Like they want
and it's kind of putting the phone down and like, it's almost like you're FaceTiming or something like that, right?
I didn't know this.
So
take note, guys. Take note.
It's like now I'm doing it, and I'm like, this is the silliest thing I've ever done in my life, But if I get on and just talk, people don't want to see that.
But it works, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess as long as it works, but
It's like I'm thinking, so this is what's happening.
Yeah. You don't realize it until you're like kind of deep in it or if you're observing it. And that's kind of what the industry is. Mm-hmm. People aren't supposed to know that thing, but now audiences are getting smarter and they know how things are done influencers have allowed them to see behind the scenes of productions and things they wouldn't know. And now they're catching on. They're like, oh my God, it's so weird that we know that you set up your tripod to show you waking up in bed.
Yeah.
But it's like, but you want to watch the video, right? That's what they're doing at a Warner Brothers studio too, to shoot a movie.
Yes.
Right? But now you know because of us, but now you almost know too much, and then you're also blaming us for it, right? You're like, oh, you don't like PR trips? That's not new. Magazine editors, television editors have been doing that forever and not telling you. We're doing it, we're actually telling you.
Yeah, and the thing is, when that first started, I remember we were invited to like first PR trips. They call it, not influencer trips, and then we would be with like the media side, which is like the what do they call it? I forgot what it's called. The kind of media, but basically that media is like newspaper, journalist, writer.
Generally, I think,
and they're always like, "Why are they with us?
Yeah.
Like why they're here?"
Yeah.
Like.
There was a weird like encroaching of territory based on like media people and makeup artists when makeup influencers started to become a thing. It was sort of like, what are you doing? You know, but then I started to feel it like later in life, because now I'm like YouTube, Instagram, and then the TikTok's coming and I'm like, well, what are these guys? You know what I mean? So the cycle continues.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is so funny, but it's true.
Yeah. I mean, now it's even the behind the scenes are curated.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
a lot of the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, some things I really don't know, even though I'm in social space, but I kind of feel like you're just doing it, you know, you really wake up, but now there's, like what you said, it's curated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So would you know if it's authentic or fake?
To me,
in your own vision?
I feel like I have a different perspective because of my position.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, I'm like, it doesn't need to be real for it to be enjoyable, right? Like just because someone is showing their morning routine and it's not actually shot in real time, that doesn't make it less valuable. I think people get like really caught up in that kind of thing because, like I said, that happens in every type of production, any type of entertainment. You need to set it up, you need to, right? But now we just know, so then it's like you're not as comfortable knowing this information. But I don't think it takes away from the authenticity. It's just like if you're trying to pick somebody to consume, just look at their whole breadth of work, right? And also like, you don't have to do anything that these people say, right? Like,
Agreed.
I always say, like, and I think you said earlier, kind of, it's like a long distance friend. I've always described my brand as like, I want to be like your friend who's obsessed with makeup, who you call when you're in the aisle at Shoppers Drug Mart. And you're like, what was that mascara you liked? Or I'm super oily. This foundation's not matching me anymore. What can I do, right? Everybody has their own kind of like brand and thing about it. So I think it's like, it's really important. And I say, like, you don't need to buy what I say. Like, I'm giving you a bunch of options. Like, this is cruelty free. It's under $30. You decide if that works for you or not. Like, I'm just a part of the buying decision process, really. So.
Yeah. And also like authenticity that comes back there when we're gifted things, we also have to say like, hey, this is gifted. So I'm showing it to you how I'm trying it on and how it looks to me on my own terms. But even those get complicated sometimes, right? Like, cause and
you never know, right? Like you really don't know. And also I think, especially with something like makeup, it's so personal. Everybody's skin is different. Like there's very rare time that I'll get online and say, wow, this is terrible. Absolutely nobody should buy it. I don't really believe that about almost anything unless there's an issue with the ethics or morals of the brand, perhaps. But it's like, it doesn't work for me. It might work for you. Yeah. It's a mascara. It's a foundation. It's a lip gloss. We all like different things. And I find like, it almost makes me annoyed that so many things are like, you almost feel forced to make things go viral. Yeah. And I'm like, it doesn't really make sense because all of these products are meant for different reasons, different people. And what are the chances we're all gonna love this foundation, right? But if you don't love it, then you're like, that creator's a liar. Yeah. They lied to me. But you didn't really listen to what they said because you have dry skin, they have oily, right? Yeah. Or something like that. Like I do kind of put it back on the audience to some degree as well. It goes both ways because they feed into like, without you, these people who you think are shitty can't exist. So somebody has to like them. Somebody's liking them, right? So
both ways has to be both responsible in consuming and also providing content.
Because if you're engaging, that's supporting, that's giving them numbers, that's pushing it out there, that's making them money, that's like positive reinforcement, even if they're doing something silly. That's what you see with rage bait content. It's like, don't engage with it. It's like those Facebook videos where they're cooking the craziest things and it makes no sense, but they know that you're going to engage and they're going to make money and that's all they care about. People have no shame.
Currency is likes and views, and that's also like what I didn't like about kind of like being in social media full time. So you're doing it full time, right? And like I feel like in full time, like sometimes it's hard to see your work and where you stand, because like even brands makes you feel that way sometimes, 100%. And the PR, the agencies that you work with, and there's still a little bit, this is like the topic that it's really like hard. Like that's the T, is like the racisms towards people of color, because coming from someone who's still in social media and someone who's half white, half Asian, I always feel confused where they categorize me. Because sometimes I'm either too Asian or I'm too white, and like I don't belong anywhere. Like
I have this exact same situation.
Because you're also like half, mixed, right? And there are a lot of opportunities I don't get because I'm not Canadian enough.
Yeah, exactly. I feel similarly when it comes to these different types of campaigns, or even online. Like I'll get it, you know, I might say like, this is a great foundation for, or SPF for dark skin because it's translucent. And then people are like, well, you're not dark skin. And I'm like, I know, but I can test it on me, and based on what I know, this will work for you, right? And I'm not saying that I am dark skin, but then if I say something else and someone will be like, well, you're too white or you're too black or whatever, it's like you don't fit anywhere. And I think that's especially relevant now because especially on TikTok, it's like, I'm a mom of 3. This is what I'm eating today. I'm a single dad of 2. This is what I'm wearing today. Like it's all categorizing, and I have had a really hard, I literally talked to my therapist about this. I'm like, and she's like, you have multiplicities about you. Like this is a good thing, but in a way it's hard to then pigeonhole yourself into something. Cause I'm like, this really, really started as just an expression of me, and I can't have it be anything else like that. Like my feed has never been curated. It's never been cute like that. I'm like, I can't, I don't
How
care.
do you decline? How do you say no? How do you put boundaries with brands, or, you know, when they say something that it's not coming from what you believe in?
Yeah.
Right?
I've run into this before. There's been several times, honestly, that I've had to turn down opportunities because either the brand I felt wasn't diverse enough and it would look bad for me to do it, or I literally couldn't because they didn't have a shade for me, even though they are reaching out for me to do a campaign. And I think what's really frustrating about that is like white creators can do whatever they want because there's always going to be a shade for them pretty much. But versus, and they will not be held accountable if they work with a brand that doesn't have a good shade range. But if I work with a brand that doesn't have a good shade range, people are going to be really mad at me. Yeah. And like, I get that.
People are coming after you.
But I'm held to a higher standard, but I'm at the disadvantage, right? I'm the one at events. I'll go up. I remember being specifically, I'll say it at a Physicians Formula event. Okay. They're not known for huge shade ranges. They just launched the butter bronzers. I love them. They extended the shades. Gorgeous. They feel like high end, stunning. But I showed them it on my hand. I was like, listen, this is a really great extension, but let me show this to you on my hand. There's white girls that self-tan to my color. Okay, like I'm not that dark. Okay, I can think of one YouTuber who wears NC42 and she shouldn't be. Okay, but that's beside the story. Either way, I'm showing it on my hand and I'm like, listen, I still think you could go darker. Right. Yeah. But it feels like a risk for me to always be saying these kinds of things. Even when that whole Tarte foundation thing came out, they're like, do you want a shade? I'm like, there's no way I can accept this. So there's been a lot of ways that I've pushed back in that. And it's very scary because I don't want to be seen as like, oh, the difficult black girl or whatever it is. Oh, here we go with the complaining again and blah, blah, blah. But what I will say came out of this, which was pretty amazing. A couple of years ago, I was working with Rimmel, and they sent me the shades.
Oh my god! I was just gonna say, I love your campaign with them. I think you were so beautiful in it. It was a perfect campaign.
They sent me a collection of concealers, and they were like, "We want you to do a video on them, show the shade range, et cetera, et cetera." I was like, "Sounds great." They sent it to me, and I put the shade range on, and I was like, "Ooh." We're gonna get killed if we do this, especially if I show the entire range. It's very obvious that there's like maybe 6 or 7 like light shades, and then there's not enough variety in the darker shades. So I don't think it's great. And that's like really scary. Like that's money on the line, right? And they're a great client of mine. I've had a great relationship with them for years. Anyways, we figure out, I end up talking about something else, but then months later they come back to me and they're like, listen, we heard you and we want you to help consult with us on the Canadian launch of their new lasting finish foundation. So I worked with them to pick the shades. There was like 16 shades in the drugstore. And I made sure to have 4 light, 4 tan, 4 medium, and 4 very deep shades. And the biggest thing that I requested was in the display, I wanted the dark shades first. Unfortunately, I didn't get to pick the numbers for the shades because that came from global, but I'm like, it's always 1 is light, 20 is deep and we're having to bend down and pick our shade. It's never the default shade. It's never the one that's on the display. And I gave those instructions that I was like, I want it to go from dark to light. And it's also very disruptive in terms of just marketing, because you do a little something different. Like, look what happened when Fenty launched. I was in line at 9 a.m. at Sephora. The dark shade sold out first. Black women spend more money on these kinds of products than anybody else. So it's purely racism. Like, you don't even want our money. Like, there's a hole in the market. We're here. Take it. And they're like, we're good.
But honestly, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
when I saw that campaign, I was like, wow, like, the Rimmel brand has really stepped up, and I really want to see more of that. So I was really proud of you.
It was really cool. It was so cool to feel heard and respected, and then to see it come to fruition and to see people respond to it. It was like probably one of the most meaningful things.
Yeah, but done. I feel like we still have a lot of like awareness to. I feel like a lot of creator needs to really talk about this and be transparent to brands. I know that is scary because we live in a world where our job depends on networking and being nice and, you know, being good to the brand, like making sure that they love what you do. But the thing is, we really have to campaign for ourselves.
And also the people. Because to me, I'm like, I see myself as a liaison between the customer and the brand, right? Yeah. So from the brand, I'm like, hey guys, this is what the brand was doing. Isn't this cool? But I also be like, hey brand, this is what the people think about it, right? And I have a direct line to your target audience to let them know what you're doing, and I can give that feedback right back to you guys too. So it's like, I feel responsibility in that place. Like, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing and not say anything about anything, even though sometimes I'm scared.
Which is good, because it came out really nice.
Yeah.
You know, you became the voice.
A consultant.
That's consultant.
That's cool. That's really huge.
Courage.
And honestly, like, little Samantha, just to be in the Rimmel offices with all the foundations and bottles and picking the shade, I was like, this is like, I've always wanted to just name lipsticks and nail polishes. I'm like, this might be the closest I ever get. It was pretty fun.
If I may ask, what's your background? So just the viewers
ethnically?
would know.
Yeah, so I'm actually from Newfoundland, East Coast Canada. So it's like,
why did you go there?
Very, very white. And then also Cuban on the other side.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ooh, but not really, but technically, genetically,
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm also like curious, like in terms of like being a woman of color.
I was gonna ask,
in this industry, like how is your journey, and how are you able to sustain this longevity?
Longevity.
Sorry, I'm eating my words today, but you understand it, right?
Yeah.
Those are like so excited. You know, it's so exciting.
I think it's been really interesting, but I think because I'm not here to say like I was the first, but I was one of the earlier people.
You're OG. You're pioneer. I'm just going to say it, okay?
Thank you. But I think I really do feel a level of responsibility, because my whole channel really started, I was going to be Rihanna for Halloween. It's a whole thing. But anyways, once I did start my channel and got into this industry, I realized, or when I started watching YouTube, I realized, oh my God, nobody has oily skin. Nobody's mixed race. I can't find a shade for me. I'm buying these things that these girls are recommending and I don't feel represented. So I was like, I'll do it myself. I'll represent, right? So even now I still have girls coming up to me being like, I use you for my foundation match all the time. I use you for your oily skin all the time. It's so helpful, et cetera, et cetera. So that means so much to me, and to be able to like try and make a difference, and these little impacts I've made, I think is really important, because it can be a really superficial, silly industry. But at the end of the day, like, beauty's not going anywhere, and even people who don't have any enthusiasm about beauty are still going to wear it. Mostly women feel the need to put on a little mascara, a little something here and there, no matter if they're watching YouTube or not. So I think like I really got into it to be representative and to connect. And I just find it fascinating. I also have a marketing background. So I just feel it's not even something that I have to try to do. It's like, I can't imagine not advocating and having a platform and advocating for a variety of things that I do, right?
You guys were talking about something earlier. Was it about racism?
Yes. So interesting, because
love to hear this.
Sort of back to this, but I have experienced so many nightmare situations at PR events that are like specifically curated by the brand to give you a good experience so that you can leave and tell the public. And if I, as somebody who's like invited VIP influencer, can't leave with a good experience, how is just a paying customer going to have a good time, right?
Translate into...
Yeah.
And so how are you going to talk about it?
Yeah. Exactly. And then I have to send them an email again and be like, please don't use those pictures. Like, I've gotten terrible blowouts, or it's like, we have our lead makeup artist from France, and then he matches me to shade like 700 mahogany, and I'm like, dude, it's not. So it's nothing new to me, and I think I'm almost a little unaware of it when it happens. But more recently, I was at an event and it was like, we have this skin analysis tool. It's going to be able to tell you about fine lines, wrinkles, dehydration. And my friend went before me. She's very fair skinned. She got all of her results. Then it was my turn to go. When they do the initial skin analysis, it shows you maybe like 6 skin tones, and you're supposed to pick the one that's closest to you. Being mixed race, I never can pick a shade. There's always like a deep tan and a dark, and I'm always like dead in the middle. Back in the day, I used to have to buy 2 foundations and mix them.
That's it.
So we picked, we picked the darker one. And then when we went to get my results, none of the results worked. Failure to error codes, this, and that.
Basically, that code is being a racist.
Yeah. So I walked away and I was like, okay, that's fine. No worries. I don't really care. I've got enough skincare at home anyways. Like, it's fine. I'm just trying to participate and have a little fun. But my friend who I was with messaged me after and was like, I was so impacted by that. I couldn't believe your experience and how terrible that was and how you must have felt and all of this stuff. And for me, I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. That is pretty messed up, but I'm so used to it that I didn't think a thing of it. Yeah. And what was so... I'm almost like getting goosebumps thinking about it, but I'd never had anybody advocate for me like this. She made a whole video and expressing her upset and how she felt. And it was just so meaningful to have someone speak up for me. And it's always so meaningful to have someone speak up for you who's coming from a more privileged position is so powerful. She reached out to the brand. The brand's PR has since reached out to me. And it's just one of those things, I think, where so many of the creators, so many people behind the scenes in PR at the brand are not diverse. Yes. There's no one sitting at the table to be like, it's like if a group of men are sitting around, and they probably are, to make tampons or something. And then we find out, you guys haven't even been using real blood to test tampons till 2 years ago. If there'd been a woman at the table a little while ago, we probably would have had something. It's the same as like if there'd been a black person, an Asian person, a brown person, whatever.
Yes.
There's not enough diversity to be like, hey, actually that makes no sense. Like I shot a hair campaign, a huge hair campaign. It was going to be commercials. They told me, come in a ponytail and then we're going to do the hair down shots. If you have curly hair, okay, this is like you're asking me to climb Mount Everest. That's not a thing. And then cut to it. I'm trying to tell them in the pre-production calls, etc. This is not going to work. We're trying to sell hair products. Nobody listens to me. And what are we doing? We're going overtime on set. I'm washing my hair in the sink, having to redo it again myself. Every time I've done a TV commercial, any kind of spot, I show up with my own hair and makeup. They're not putting bronzer on me. They're whatever. They don't have a shade for me, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really wild. Yeah. And I'm like, you guys are paying me to be here to sell something. It's not like I just showed up off the street and asked for a makeover.
You're not just a model. You're more than that.
Yeah, but even still, models experience that all the time. You see, like what they're doing to their hair or whatever. It's a nightmare, and it's embarrassing, and you feel like a burden. And you honestly feel like kind of just like lucky to be there, and you don't want to say anything. Yes. That's why it's so important for other people to advocate and say something.
Yeah. Yes. But that was nice with your friend.
It was so really so touching. Honestly.
But we need to see more of that.
Yeah, it's
I feel
important.
like Canada really prides itself to be the most diverse place here in North America, but it's not. I'm so sorry. It's not. And we still have a lot of work to do.
It's also just a lot of passive aggression and like quiet racism. You don't notice it. It's like it's polite.
It's under the rug.
It's like a polite cut, and then you look down and realize you're bleeding. You're like, oh, okay, interesting.
Oh my God, it's so true.
Polite is not politing.
No, it's not.
It's all under the rug.
I feel like there's still a lot of work in the influencer industry in terms of diversity.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like other people of color that I know that are really speaking, like privately when you just talk like, oh, I don't even bother in that PR agency because they just want all white or just it girls. Like, because the girls are like, not the girls, I'm sorry. It's like I find that the industry in Toronto is very cliquey.
Oh, yes.
And it's so hard to get in because like it's been set. And then they always hire the same people over and over and again for all these brands in the last 10 years. It's like, why are you not giving chance to others?
Yep.
So
but I also want to speak to the audience here because I know that for me, I follow anybody of any skin tone, whatever. Maybe I like their personality. We have similar hair. We have similar skin tone. We have similar whatever. But they also don't need to have anything similar. Maybe it's just whatever. But I feel like, and maybe I'm making huge assumptions here, but I feel like white audiences tend to pick people who look like them versus more diverse people kind of just pick anybody because we're not used to that. Like if I want to search work hairstyles, I need to put 4 black hair, right? Versus someone who is white or someone who has straight hair, whatever, just puts work hairstyles. So I think audiences are also drawn to like what's considered the beauty standard, what's considered cool or trendy or whatever it is. And most of the time that's not people of color, you know? Yeah.
It's interesting, right?
It's facets of people of color. They take it, but it's not trendy when we do it. So.
I'm learning here because coming from the Philippines, we just follow whoever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like I do. Okay. It doesn't matter which color. We just follow if we find it interesting or it's similar. Or
and I think a lot of people do.
It's just like that.
But I know like a girl who worked in PR and who was the person responsible for picking people who would be featured in campaigns. Yeah. And in 2020, she reflected and realized my feed is entirely white women. So how am I going to know who's new out here or whatever if you're just searching for things that are like completely relevant to you?
Yeah, and I feel like I find that like the PR people and the people that they work with, like the creator that they work with, is also their friends.
That too.
Yeah, and it's like and they always just keep hiring their friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's so obvious, but no one's really advocating for it.
Yeah. It's very tricky. And what do you do?
Nothing, because like they're the one who provides jobs. And if you speak up, then you're bad or like
and
you're
the worst
problematic.
Part is, they'll never tell you.
No.
They'll never tell you you crossed a line. They'll never tell you. And they change jobs, like they change underwear.
They'll ghost you.
Yeah. And then they'll go to another company.
Yeah.
And you're like, no,
I was doing well with an agency and now she's there.
Or like your favorite girl leaves. It's like, no. So
is
tricky.
it hard to have friends in the social space, or just seeing them in person, just knowing that they're the right people for you?
I would say like I know a lot of people. Like I have a very good, I think, I mean, I'm sure I've got some haters out there, but
haters are good. Haters are good.
But I really love a lot of the people. I have a really good time, a lot of fun. I will say, I wouldn't say I'm like good friends with a lot of people. There's specific people like you that you feel the vibe. You immediately feel comfortable. There's no facade. Because like to some degree, it's like, oh, these people aren't perfect. They're not. And then you get out and you're like, some of them kind of are.
Yeah.
Some of them, you look at their face and you're like, oh my, you're even prettier than you are on Instagram. Yeah. Are you serious?
It's filters.
And they work so hard to be beautiful, and you see it like they only particular angles. Like the amount of times I go to take a picture with a girl
it needs to
at an event, and they're like, "What's your side?" And I'm like, "I don't have one." And they're like, "Oh, well, I guess you're just like so pretty." I'm like, "No, I don't really. Both sides are mediocre to me. Like neither is better, right?
Right. Yeah.
But they're so particular about all these kinds of things, and they really do. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're putting in the work. Like, you look great, you look perfectly curated, but I don't really feel like I can come up to you and shoot the shit and be silly. I'm kind of weird, you know? So
no, it's, you're pretty unfiltered. You're pretty authentic.
Yeah.
She's just
I can be also a little
what it
blunt.
should be.
Like, there's things that people won't say that I'll say, and they'll like shock.
That's
in
why
shock,
I
or they
like
laugh,
her.
and I'm like, what? I'm just saying the sky is blue, guys. Like, this is not controversial.
Yeah, it's not an issue. It's
like we're all staring
talk.
at something, and then I say we're staring at it, and everyone's like, and I'm like, okay, I didn't think that was weird. Yeah, I'm like,
calm down.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, how do you balance your life? I know it's hard to balance your personal life versus your life online, and also like dating and friendship and family. Like, how do you like manage that?
Can I also add?
Yes.
How do you stay grounded?
Yes.
Okay.
You're very grounded.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're grounded.
How do I
and
manage?
You're so aware.
I don't really, not well. I'll say that. It's really hard because, and I don't know how everybody else feels. It's also me, like from the outside looking in to some degree, but I am truly me. Who I am online is who I am in person for the most part. So I think that's what makes it really hard sometimes, is like, I'm not putting on a persona. I'm not turning anything on. And then when you see me in person, it's going to be different or whatever. So when you're like, facing rejection there and you're putting yourself out so authentically, it first of all feels very vulnerable, having like either it's friends or family or people like kind of watching you. Like everyone's watching you. Everybody knows what you're doing. So that can kind of make you a little nervous, especially because like for me, more recently, I've wanted to talk a lot more about like mental health and things that are important to me, but you also don't want to feel like you're calling people out. But I'm the type of person who I really want to share and talk about it. So I think that's a difficult element of it. But the other difficult element is like everything is an opportunity. There's opportunity cost every corner. I'm like, should I be filming this right now? Should I have filmed getting ready? Should I, like, there's always like the amount of time I buy something and the bag just sits there. I have Beyonce's perfume in the box from like 3 years ago. I've got my YouTube 100,000 subscribers button in the box because I'm like, I can't think of what I want to do with this. Like you get stuck. It's like, ooh, this was an opportunity. I'm going on vacation. Okay, should I email a bunch of brands and try and da-da-da? And that's it seems great. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of want to turn off. But I'm like, it's a great opportunity because the background is something new. People love when you travel. Maybe I'll get travel deals. So it's very hard to step back from it because not only is it a job, it's also just something that I engage in as a person, right? So it's very hard, and I'm incredibly chronically online. I will say that
a lot of us is, but I feel like Samantha is just like she just shows up every day. You know, you just show up to yourself, no matter what state you're in. You're like, I'm here for myself, and I'm doing this.
Yeah, and I'm not going to apologize. Like, I feel like people get online, they're like, oh my God, don't look at me, and they're like, absolutely perfect, and I'm like, okay. Versus I'm like, hey guys, like, there's been times where I'm like, my shirt is currently inside out and backwards, and then someone messaged me and they're like, it's also upside down, and I was like, that's a good point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I don't give a shit.
It's just being real.
And like, that's what I want to see. That's what makes me, like, as much as I have like some feelings about TikTok and stuff, like nothing has ever made me feel so seen. And you're like, oh my God, no one really has had an original experience. And there's something that, like, I know everyone's like, oh, social media is so curated, it's so this, it's so fake, but it's also so real. And you get to decide, you dictate your feed. And then that also helps dictate how everything else goes. And I think it's just so important to really, really think about who you're engaging with, who you follow. The mute button is a beautiful thing. I'll just say that. I love that button.
And it's so easy to support our friends too. To, you know, like, share, and, you know, save. Just say, like, it's so comment, easy, you know, but I feel like sometimes like our friends and family are like the one who like,
they don't. That's a very common thing. Like, I have so many people. I have people who followed me for 10 years that are huge supporters, that are really so kind, and they really believe in me. And it's not an uncommon thing. It's like, you know, your friend has a business, you're not buying there, but you're in line for Fenty foundation, right? So
agree. Any,
I guess we're almost wrapping up. What would be like your advice to anyone who wants to, you know, get into social media
or starting? And the kids of today.
It's
so different.
As a woman of color,
it's one of, I think, the job that like kids want the most.
Yes. Right now, you ask them, you want to be.
I won't be surprised if there's going to be a bachelor degree about 100%, social media.
100%. They're getting close.
I think we should start that.
What?
Yes. YouTube school.
Like film school started this like that.
Exactly. Instagram school.
But what I would say, first of all, I also didn't answer your grounded question. I don't really know. I don't know how I do. I think, I don't know. I'm just me.
I feel like you're down to earth. Like,
you're already there.
It might be like the East Coaster in me or something. But also, like, I'm like, don't you guys have to go out and like see your friends and family after this? Like, I
can go out.
I'm not going to get online and pretend to be something else. I would never have this longevity. I couldn't stay doing this for 13 years if I didn't grow with my channel. Because you see some people who, like, they have a persona and then they change, but they don't actually change online because they know what their audience wants. But like, my audience has also grown with me. So it's been very interesting. But I would say if you're going to start, just start.
Just start.
Because people get so scared and it's so saturated. You could be uploading a ton of videos. No one's going to see them. I'm sorry. No one's going to see them. So just practice. It's not live. Sit down and film something. You don't have to edit it. You can film it again. People get so scared. But I also think if it's so scary and it's so hard, maybe it's also not for you. Because I think it's the kind of thing that everybody thinks they can do. And I'm like, if you have to force yourself into this, it's like any other job. It just looks so good and so many perks and whatever. But you shouldn't need to force yourself into it. Like, even if influencing didn't exist, I'd find a way to yap. Like this has been this
You'll be a talk show host. For
I've
sure.
always wanted
right?
to.
Oh my God,
That's my dream.
Imagine that.
That's my dream.
Right?
I actually did.
Let's do that.
I had a show in junior high with my friends called Cup of Joe and Sam. So we'll see if we can.
We'll shoot it in Newfoundland, you know?
Let's do it.
We'll have like sponsored to do that.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
See, I'm a scout and I like finding people.
I love it.
She found me again.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Wow.
Newfoundland.
You get a car. You get a car.
Yeah.
But
Oprah.
Okay. So now that we're wrapping up, I just want to. Do you have like any like takeaway that you learned from Sam? Because I do. I feel like I like what she was saying. Like to grow with your channel, I feel like change is the only thing consistent in the world, and you really have to be able to change.
Yes,
change is for the better.
It really is,
and no one is stuck.
Boundaries, and you have to believe in yourself and your boundaries because. Things are going to align with you if you know what's right for you. And it's not, if it's not for everyone, then it's not for everyone. But there are people who needs to hear this.
Absolutely.
So I love that. And it's coming from her.
Oh,
who
thank
has
you.
12 years
Sam.
of social
I'm really,
media
really happy
experience.
that you spent this time with us.
Oh, this is
We're very
so nice.
grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that's it. Until next time on
And what's the tea? We still have to practice that. Oh my God.